My wife, Amelia, and her sister, Chloe, are identical twins. Seeing them together is like looking at a miracle of genetics, the kind of perfect symmetry that makes you believe in something bigger. Both are stunning, standing around 5'7", with athletic builds that never seem to fluctuate. The only telltale difference is the small beauty mark just at the corner of Chloe's eye. If you covered that one tiny spot, you'd be hard-pressed to tell them apart. It's a trick Chloe loves to pull on our daughter, getting her to call her mommy just for the fun of it. Chloe is the wild one, a firecracker since childhood. She's always loved dressing up, diving headfirst into cosplay and video games. Her dream was to be a professional streamer, and with her looks and a near-prodigal talent for gaming, she built a solid fanbase back in college. After graduation, she went full-time. Now her life is a whirlwind of live-streaming gameplay, sponsored product unboxings, and trading card pack openings. She's completely independent, and her income is impressive. Amelia, on the other hand, is pragmatic and decisive. She was the bookworm, the student who got into a top-tier university and landed a job at a Fortune 500 company right after graduation. Her competence is off the charts. In less than 5 years, she climbed her way into a management position. I used to work at that same company. Amelia was my direct supervisor. The first time I saw her, I was a goner. After 2 years of relentless, heartfelt pursuit, I finally won her over. Not long after, she got pregnant, a complete surprise. Due to a rare genetic condition that runs in her family, the odds of natural conception were like winning the Powerball. We decided to get married immediately and start our family. The company had a strict anti-nepotism policy. No married couples on the payroll. Amelia's career trajectory was a rocket ship, so I was the one who volunteered to resign. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, our daughter, Penny, is now 4 years old. I've spent these years as a stay-at-home dad, and I haven't looked back. I do some freelance work online, which brings in enough to comfortably cover our family's expenses. I've always believed that in any family, one person needs to be the anchor. It shouldn't always be the woman who makes the sacrifice. A man can and should step up. I figure that taking care of my wife and child, and doing it well, is its own kind of success. I've kept our home running like a well-oiled machine, and in that time, Amelia's career has skyrocketed. Life is good. Chloe couldn't stand our in-laws constantly nagging her about going on dates, so one day she snapped, bought the condo next to ours, and moved out of her parents' house. Our building is a high-rise with only 2 units per floor, so when Chloe moved in, the entire 22nd floor became our private family compound. We barely even close our front doors anymore. The only thing to complain about is Chloe's interior design, which is a chaotic mashup of styles, a necessity for her streaming career, I suppose. It's like a film studio with an esports battle station corner, a dedicated set for unboxing videos, another area set up like a dance studio with a mirrored wall, and even a bedroom decorated like a high-end hotel suite. But Penny adores it. Chloe's living room has a real claw machine and a vintage arcade cabinet. Our daughter spends half her days next door trying to win stuffed animals and playing video games. Chloe was spoiled rotten growing up, so her life skills are practically non-existent. Since moving in, she just eats all her meals with us. For me, it's just a matter of setting one more place at the table. My mother-in-law visits from time to time, ostensibly to see her daughters. But I know she's also keeping a wary eye on me. After all, her beautiful, single daughter is living next door to her brother-in-law, and both of us work from home. She worries something might happen. Her fears are completely unfounded. I don't have a single inappropriate thought about Chloe. Yes, she's gorgeous, but she looks exactly like my wife. I hit my aesthetic limit years ago. Whenever my mother-in-law visits, the conversation inevitably turns to Chloe's marital status, which always ends in a mother-daughter argument. She arrives beaming with joy and leaves in a huff a few hours later. The eternal plight of parents. It was a typical Friday. At 6:30 p.m., Amelia walked through the door, right on time. Since her promotion to senior director, she almost never has to work late. Dinner was ready. Coca-Cola glazed ribs, shrimp scampi, a steamed sea urchin custard, a thick-cut ribeye, sautéed bok choy, and a peach gum and snow fungus soup for dessert. A bottle of red wine to unwind. A perfectly balanced meal, nutritious without being heavy. Penny, go get Aunt Chloe for dinner, I said, ladling soup into a bowl. Okay, da-da, she mumbled, her mouth full of rib meat. With sticky fingers, she bolted for the apartment next door. Ack, my custom-designed merch. Get your greasy little hands off me. Don't run. I'm gonna get you, you little monster. Chloe's theatrical shrieks echoed from her apartment. Penny ran back, giggling, with Chloe stomping her foot in mock anger right behind her. All right, you two settle down. Time to eat, Amelia said, emerging from the master closet in her pajamas, her hair tied up in a messy bun. Amelia, look what your daughter did. This is a brand new design I was going to wear on my stream tonight. Chloe whined, pointing at the greasy handprint on her shirt and pouting. Before Amelia could even respond, Chloe added, "You have to pay for this. I'll take that new pajama set you just bought as compensation." With that, she zipped into the closet and reappeared a moment later wearing an identical set of silk pajamas, plopping herself down at the dinner table. Amelia has this professional habit of always wanting to appear perfectly put together. If she finds an article of clothing she likes, she buys multiples. It makes sense to have a few extra pantsuits stashed at the office, but she does the same thing at home. She'll buy 4 or 5 identical sets of pajamas at once. "Ethan, you're washing this for me. Your daughter got it dirty," Chloe said, peeling a shrimp. "Oh, please," I scoffed. Even if Penny hadn't touched it, were you really going to wash it yourself? Besides your underwear, have you ever done your own laundry? That high-end washer and dryer you bought is going to break from disuse. Chloe, did you intentionally let Penny wipe her hands on you? I think you just wanted my new pajamas, Amelia said, eyeing her sister with a knowing smirk. Chloe's hands froze mid-peel. She looked up and gave a sheepish grin. "Ah, you're too smart, sis. Here, have a shrimp. I peeled it just for you." Then she muttered under her breath, "So much for my little secret agent. Penny can't be trusted." Amelia took the shrimp and popped it into Penny's mouth. "Don't you dare corrupt my daughter," she scolded Chloe. "You're 30 years old. Why don't you find a husband? What's the point of earning all that money if you're alone? You won't have kids, and what will you do when you're old? With our family's fertility issues, if you wait a few more years, you might not be able to have kids at all." Stop, Chloe interrupted, clearly annoyed. "God, you're starting to sound just like Mom." No. It's so annoying. I'm worried about you, and I feel for Mom. You see how she worries every day. You'll understand when you're a mother yourself," Amelia said, her gaze softening. "After years of streaming, I've seen so much hypocrisy and fake sincerity. I'm completely disillusioned with love," Chloe said, downing her glass of wine. "Of course, Ethan's one of the good ones. You got lucky, sis. Feel free to praise me all you want." I chimed in, happy for the compliment, "but don't get any ideas." "Ideas about you? Get real." Chloe shot me a glare and stuck out her tongue in disgust. "I'm not interested in men. As a woman, you still need a family. You'll understand once you have a child," Amelia said gently, looking first at me, then at Penny, who was still laser-focused on her ribs. "Huh, then I'll just have the kid, not the husband," Chloe declared, her eyes sparkling with defiance. "I'll get a donor. With IVF, I could even have a mixed-race baby. No husband, no mother-in-law, none of that baggage. Just me and my kid. How amazing would that be? Look at yourself. You're so lazy you can barely take care of yourself. You don't do laundry, you can't cook, and now you want a baby? Have you thought about what the neighbors, what our whole family, will say? You'll give Mom and Dad a heart attack." Amelia slammed her chopsticks on the table, her voice sharp. "I'll live my life how I want. I don't care what anyone says. I have the money to raise a child." Chloe drained another glass of wine, stood up, and stormed out of the room. Amelia watched her go, a deep frown on her face. "She's an adult. You can't just change her mind overnight," I said, raising my glass to her. "It'll take time. Cheers." Cheers. Our eyes met, and we both drank. A husband and wife don't always need words. Later that night, Amelia was still in Penny's room, reading her bedtime story. I was in our bedroom, waiting for her and scrolling through my phone. Lying in bed, I idly browsed online and stumbled upon Chloe's livestream. She was still wearing Amelia's pajamas, the camera showing only her torso and hands. Her long, pale fingers, wrapped in protective tape, expertly shuffled and flipped through a deck of trading cards. Every so often, she'd ring a small bell and shout, "Congratulations! You pulled a secret rare." The chat was a mix of envious comments and the usual cesspool of online toxicity. "Damn girl, those hands are nice. Send me a private pic and I'll subscribe. Your voice is hot, but you won't show your face. Bet you're some ugly old hag. Pull up that pajama top a little and I'll buy a whole box of cards." And then there were the comments that got instantly filtered, too vile to even read. No wonder she hates men, I thought. Behind the anonymity of a screen, people don't even bother to pretend to be decent. They just let their ugliest thoughts fly. Chloe never responded, but I could imagine her cursing them all out in her head. It was easy to see how she'd become so jaded. I slept dreamlessly and woke up feeling refreshed. I went out for my morning run, breathing in the fresh air. When I got back, it was time to make breakfast. A savory congee with pickled greens and shredded pork, a few grilled cheese sandwiches, and a side of crisp, marinated pickles drizzled with olive oil. The aroma filled the apartment. Just then, Amelia walked out of the bedroom. She was up early. I wrapped my arms around her waist, leaned in for a morning kiss, and was promptly shoved away. Hey, hand off. Wrong person, Chloe said with a look of disgust. Ugh, I stammered, pulling my hands back. You really shouldn't wear your sister's clothes. I almost made a huge mistake. The moment my hands touched her waist, my brain registered the difference in texture, but my body was still following its previous command. There was a subtle distinction. Chloe didn't work out, so her waist was softer, more pliable. Amelia was religious about her Pilates, and her core was tight as a drum. What are you doing up so early? You usually don't surface until noon, I said, quickly changing the subject. I'm starving, and it's all your wife's fault, Chloe grumbled, grabbing a sandwich and taking a huge bite. I barely ate last night. Oomph. I poured her a glass of water. She chugged it and continued. I thought about it all night. I'm 30. With our family's genetic issues, it's only going to get harder for me to have a baby. So, I'm doing it this year. I'm having a kid. Okay, well, I can introduce you to some good guys. I have a few friends who are decent people. Stop, just stop. I don't like men. They're all sanctimonious in public and disgusting behind closed doors. And no, I don't like women either. I just want to have a baby on my own, raise it myself. The life of a modern, independent woman can be pretty amazing, you know. I'm not going to judge, I said. Just make sure you've thought it through. You're going to face a lot of pressure. There's so much to consider. Who's going to help you? What if the baby is up all night screaming? What if they get sick? Who's going to help with homework? How will you balance work and a child? I'll hire a nanny, she said dismissively. If I'm worried, I'll just pay you to supervise the nanny. I'll put you on my payroll. I'm not short on cash. If you're willing to spend the money, raising a kid isn't that hard. Look at Penny. She seems easy enough to manage. You two figured it out. But every child is different. But what? I think it's a great idea. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. No time to waste. I'm going to start researching. A look of pure excitement lit up Chloe's face. Hey, Chloe's up early. What are you two talking about? Amelia emerged from the bedroom, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. Oomph. Wouldn't you like to know? Chloe shot back, turning and walking out. Amelia just shook her head and smiled, then looked at me. She might be serious this time, not just talking, I said after a moment. Because of her job, she has a pretty negative view of men. She's genuinely resistant to the idea of a relationship. Amelia started to go after her, but I grabbed her arm. Don't push her right now. It takes time to change someone's mind. There are good men out there. My friend, for instance, he's a great guy. I can introduce them. But her plan, in our world, it would be a spectacle. People would laugh at her. Normal families don't do things this way. Mom and dad would have to endure all the whispers behind their backs. Look, don't say anything to your parents yet. It'll just upset them. And if Chloe is serious about this, it's not that simple. IVF and all that takes a lot of preparation. We have time to talk her around. And in a worst-case scenario, it's not like we can't afford to just pack up the whole family and move to a different city. Okay, Amelia said, nodding after a moment of thought. On Saturday, Amelia had a global video conference she had to run from home. Not wanting to disturb her, I took Penny to an amusement park for the day. Amelia said she and Chloe would have dinner together, telling me to let them have their fun. So Penny and I spent the whole day out, not getting home until after dinner. Before I even opened the door, the thick smell of alcohol hit me. I walked in to find Amelia and Chloe passed out on the couch, one on each end. On the coffee table stood 5 empty wine bottles, drained to the last drop. I saw that 2 of them were from my private collection, a vintage that was no longer produced. I kept them on the highest shelf of the wine rack, hoping they'd be overlooked. How did they find them? My heart bled. I didn't bother with them. I took Penny, gave her a bath, changed her into her pajamas, and tucked her into bed. Once she was asleep, I went back out and saw the 2 of them still unconscious. It wasn't cold enough for them to catch a chill, but sleeping on the couch would surely lead to sore backs in the morning. So, I decided to carry them to the master bedroom. Drunk people are dead weight. It took all my strength to haul them, one by one, into the room. Seeing the 2 identical sisters sleeping side by side, their faces peaceful and flushed, was a strangely captivating sight. On Sunday, both Amelia and Chloe were completely useless from their hangovers, listless all day. I asked Amelia why they drunk so much. It's a woman's secret, she said. Men shouldn't ask. I just roll my eyes. Monday morning, I went out for my usual run. As I stepped out of the building, I saw Chloe waiting downstairs, dressed in a bright pink tracksuit and doing warm-up stretches. Hey, brother-in-law, I was waiting for you. From now on, I'm getting in shape. You want to run with me? I asked, surprised. It's 3 miles. You sure you can handle it? No problem. Our complex has a large man-made lake with a fitness path around it. The air there is clean and rich with oxygen, perfect for a workout. Well, look at the young couple out for a run, an old man out for a walk commented. That's how young folks should be. Good health means a long life, another, even older man added. Morning, gentlemen. I called out. I didn't bother explaining we weren't a couple. Most people couldn't tell the twins apart anyway, and Chloe was just as disinclined to correct them. Even if we did, they'd probably just get confused again later. So, is this a momentary whim, or are you planning to stick with it? I asked her. Of course I'm sticking with it. I'm going to be a mom. I need to be healthy. You've really made up your mind then? You really want a kid? I said it, I mean it. I'm a woman of my word. But raising a kid is a ton of work. I mean, look at me and your sister. We had a nanny for the first year, and it was still overwhelming. So I'll hire 2 nannies. For a few years. It won't even cost that much. And for anything I don't know, I'll just ask you guys. You seem to be doing a great job. Anything money can solve isn't really a problem. All right, you win. You've got more money than us. It's a shame you can't do IVF in this country if you're single. I'm trying to decide between a clinic in Denmark or one in California. Ow, my stomach. She stopped, clutching her side. That's what you get, I said. You've never run before, and you're trying to talk while you do it. You got a side stitch. Forget about Denmark and California for now. Just focus on getting your body in shape first. Hey, you did that on purpose. You were trying to get me to talk, she said, finally catching on. Just walk it off, slowly. Deep breaths. I'm going to keep going. See ya. With that, I sped up and left her behind. Hey, that's 1 lap on you. Keep it up. That's 2 laps. You can do it. Haha, 3 laps. Just quit if you can't handle it. Screw you. In no time, I had lapped her several times. Chloe was finally getting a real sense of just how out of shape she was. For someone with a pre-existing fertility issue, wanting a healthy baby was going to be a long road. After the run, we picked up some coffee and bagels and went back to our respective apartments to shower. After breakfast, I had to take Penny to preschool. Over the next few months, unless it was raining or she was on her period, Chloe joined me for my morning run. I never thought a person who loved sleeping in so much could have this much perseverance. Her determination was no joke. I had clearly underestimated her. Gradually, she started to keep pace with me, and her overall fitness improved dramatically. One Saturday evening, we had just finished dinner and were all watching TV when my mother-in-law showed up unexpectedly. Mom, Grandma, Mom, what are you doing here so late? Amelia asked, surprised. Oh, I just missed you all. Come here, my sweet granddaughter, give Grandma a hug. My, you're getting so heavy I can barely lift you, my mother-in-law said with a happy laugh. Get down now. You'll tire Grandma out, I said, motioning for my mother-in-law to have a seat. After a bit of small talk, she finally revealed the real reason for her visit. Chloe, a friend of a relative of mine, has a son. He's a very decent young man, 3 years older than you. I want you 2 to meet this weekend. Here, look at his picture. She handed her phone to Chloe. Mom, are you sure he's only 3 years older than me? He's practically bald, and his head is shaped like a cinder block. A tan cinder block. Don't be so dismissive. He comes from a good family. His parents both have stable government jobs. Girls are lining up to marry into a family like that. Young man, he looks like an old man to me. How can you talk like that? Why did I have to have such a difficult child? You're 30 years old. In the old days, you'd be a grandmother by now, and you can't even get married. Who's going to take care of you when you're old? If I don't get married, I don't get married. I don't care. I'm fine on my own. When I'm old, I'll check myself into a nursing home. Chloe shot up from the couch and stormed out. Amelia tried to grab her shirt, but missed. You get back here, my mother-in-law started to say. Slam. Chloe slammed her door shut. You see? How can your sister be so stubborn? You can't say 2 words to her before she runs off. I'm just worried about her. What's she going to do when she's old? My mother-in-law's eyes grew red. Mom, young people are getting married later these days. I'll talk to her. Please don't worry so much, Amelia said, trying to comfort her. That's right, Mom. Chloe is a smart, successful woman. She'll be fine, I added quickly. Grandma, look, I got a new coloring book. Will you color with me? You draw better than Mommy and Daddy, Penny said, sensing the tension and pulling on her grandmother's hand to distract her. My mother-in-law stayed the night with us. The next morning, the sky was a dull, heavy gray. Chloe and I went for our run, as usual. By now, she could completely keep up with my pace. The early winter air was crisp and comfortable, with a clean, sweet scent. As we finished, tiny snowflakes began to drift down, melting the moment they hit the ground. Your stamina has really improved. You're matching me step for step, I said. Of course, nearly 6 months of training wasn't for nothing. I'm more persistent than I look. Mom stayed at our place last night. Maybe you should go over later and make up with her. Ouch! Chloe's foot slipped on a marble step, and she twisted her ankle. The light snow had made the surface slick. I carried her upstairs on my back. Just as we reached our floor, my mother-in-law opened the door and saw us. She fixed us with a sharp, scrutinizing glare. "A grown woman, and you're still so careless," she scolded Chloe. "I don't need you to manage me." Chloe snapped, sliding off my back and limping in her own apartment. "This child." My mother-in-law looked displeased, but her suspicious gaze shifted back to me. After breakfast, the snow started coming down harder. Amelia took some food and a topical pain reliever over to Chloe. My mother-in-law was worried about the plants in her yard and wanted to get home, so I drove her. The car ride was silent. Just before she got out, she suddenly spoke. A brother-in-law and a sister-in-law getting too close. "It doesn't look right. Mom, I know my boundaries." Good. Worried the snow would get worse and make travel difficult, I stopped at the supermarket on my way back to stock up on groceries. I bought some of Penny's favorite teddy bear crackers and picked up some fruit teas that Amelia and Chloe both loved. When I got home, no one was there. Chloe's door was closed. They must have been in her apartment. I knocked, gave them the tea and crackers, and then went back to my place to start on lunch. Since Chloe had hurt her foot, I decided to make a rich bone broth to help her heal. "Ethan, this soup is amazing." "2 thumbs up," Chloe said, giving me a genuine thumbs up. "I only made it because I felt sorry for you," I teased. "Hee, you're so nice to me. Is my sister going to get jealous?" Chloe said, looking at Amelia with a twinkle in her eye. "Jealous of you? Get real." Amelia laughed. "By the way," Chloe said, "once my ankle is better, I'm going to California. The clinic just called me." "Are you absolutely sure about this?" Amelia asked, looking directly into her sister's eyes. "I'm sure," Chloe replied, her gaze firm and unwavering. A strange thought crossed my mind. Amelia's stance had always been aligned with her mother's on this issue. But over the last 6 months, her attitude seemed to have changed. "Penny, do you want to go on a trip with me?" Chloe asked. "Yeah, we can go see K-pop stars." Penny's eyes lit up. "Daddy, Mommy, can I?" "It's up to your mother," I said. I had no objections. I was already dreaming of some alone time with my wife. "Of course, sweetie, but you have to promise to listen to Aunt Chloe." Okay. Haha, K-pop, K-pop. Penny cheered with delight. The rest of the meal was filled with happy chatter. 6 days later, on a Saturday, Chloe and Penny were scheduled for an afternoon flight to Los Angeles. They were planning to be gone for 2 weeks. I had intended to drive them to the airport, but Amelia said she had an errand to run in that direction and would take them herself. She told me to stay home and make us a nice dinner for when she got back, punctuating the request with a sultry wink. I understood her signal immediately. A wonderful 2 weeks, just the two of us, was about to begin. I went out and bought steaks, a bouquet of roses, and pulled out one of my best bottles of red wine. I lit some incense and waited for Amelia to return. Outside, the snow began to fall again, blanketing the distant lawns in white. As dusk settled, Amelia came home. Her black trench coat couldn't hide her incredible figure. She walked in and fell into my arms, burying her face in my chest and bringing with her the crisp, clean scent of snow. "I just took 2 weeks of vacation," she whispered into my shirt. "Really? That's amazing," I said, surprised and delighted, lifting her up and spinning her around. I cupped her flushed face, intending to kiss her, but she pushed me away. "I had garlic for lunch." "No kissing. I don't care if you stink." I tried again, but she squirmed out of my embrace and ran into the closet. "Hey, why are you being so shy? It's just us now. 2 whole weeks," I teased. Amelia emerged in a comfortable lounge set. I handed her the roses. "Here for you." "Wow, they're beautiful," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with pure joy. "I got steaks. I'll go sear them now." Soon, the rich aroma of steak filled the air. Amelia and I sat nestled together, drinking wine, eating, and listening to music on a romantic, snowy night that was ours alone. She seemed unusually shy tonight, which reminded me of how things were when we first got together. After dinner, it was time to head to the bedroom to take a shower, of course. It was a beautiful night. We fell asleep, wrapped in each other's arms. Wake up. You're taking me to the movies." "What's with the sudden urge to see a movie?" "I just feel like it. Does there have to be a reason?" "It's my vacation. You have to do what I say," Amelia said, suddenly acting playful and demanding. "Okay, you're the boss." The movie theater. It had been a while. We chose a comedy, ate fries, drank soda, and felt like we were young again. It was perfect. After the movie, we video chatted with Penny. "Daddy, look, it's a giant cinema roll," she said, showing off a huge stuffed animal. "I miss you, Daddy. Annie says she has a surprise for you guys. We met a Korean oppa who's super handsome." "Enjoying your alone time?" Chloe quickly grabbed the phone. "Yeah, it's great. What's this about a handsome Korean guy?" Amelia leaned into the frame. It's a surprise. We'll tell you when we get back, Chloe said with a grin. Enjoy your freedom while it lasts. We'll be home in a few days. After we hung up, Amelia beamed at me. Honey, let's go win some prizes. She grabbed my hand and pulled me toward the claw machines. I never knew you liked these things. There's a lot you don't know about me. Oh, I got one. We spent a small fortune and only managed to win 3 stuffed animals. But seeing Amelia so happy made it all worth it. After a long day of fun, we returned to our cozy little home. Another night, another tangle of limbs and whispered words. Next, we flew to Key West and ate a lot of oysters. The hotel bed had very squeaky springs. Then we went to New Orleans and drank some local herbal tonics. That hotel bed had squeaky springs, too. After that, we flew to Big Sur. This time, we ate cordyceps mushrooms. And yes, that hotel bed also had squeaky springs. Finally, we went to a remote cabin deep in the Appalachian Mountains. The bed there was blessedly silent. Thankfully, Amelia's vacation ended, and we could finally go home. Chloe and Penny came back, and they brought a handsome Korean man with them. His name was Ian Kim. He was a nice guy who spoke perfect English and already worked in the city. Love, it turns out, can strike that fast. And when it does, all previous declarations about not getting married go out the window. 2 weeks after returning, Chloe announced she and Ian were getting married. The wedding was held here, a grand, joyful affair with traditional Chinese elements for his visiting parents. My mother-in-law wept with joy. Her youngest daughter was finally married, a huge weight lifted from her shoulders. Not long after, Chloe announced she was pregnant. We were all thrilled. Then, one day they had a massive fight. Chloe insisted on a divorce. No one could talk her out of it, and she'd use the baby as leverage anytime someone tried. 2 months after getting married, Chloe announced she was divorced. That whirlwind romance came as quickly as it went. After 10 months, Chloe gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. When Chloe was moved from the delivery room, Penny and I went to see the baby. Our daughter stared at him for a long time and then said, "Daddy, the baby looks just like I did when I was little." "That's because your mommy and your aunt are identical," I replied.